Trainers are getting ready here. We have on the left, CoIin6ix, and on the right, Hikhami.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the teams here. These are a bit different teams, right? On the left side, we have Dragon, Kingdra, Spiritomb, Dunsparce, Drapion, and Beedrill, and Lickilicky. So double rollout strategy by CoIin6ix. And on the other side, by Hikhami, we see a double water.
And just to explain to our newer viewers from other games or trainers new to PvP, yes, Lickilicky and Dunsparce are known as rollout users. They are normal types, however, they have a fast attack that deals rock type damage. And that's been super important in especially this meta, because flying type and steel type Pokemon are banned. So bug type Pokemon have a lot of play in this meta. There's hardly any ghost type Pokemon to be found. The one that's the most common is Spiritomb, as you see on both teams, but because of the dark subtyping, bug type is actually neutral into that. So you're going to probably see a lot of Beedrill coming out in this winners final.
Yeah, and talking about Spiritomb here is a menace. I think you can use Spiritomb every single game in this meta, unless maybe there's a green channel, but we'll see if we got it game one.
Here we go. We have that Shadow Beedrill on the left side. We have Milotic on the right side. Milotic has access to a Dragon-type fast attack, actually, making it a pretty good counter to Kingdra, for example. The thing is, Milotic is very safe into the team of CoIin6ix, because in this meta there's hardly any grass or electric type Pokemon, so there's just about nothing that is super effective against Milotic. But Beedrill has a fast attack that does a lot, so you just see CoIin6ix tapping and tapping, and you see the HP of that Milotic just chunking away.
Yeah, and we see Colin investing 2 shields instantly in the matchup, and actually Hikhami getting aggressive here with the Lickilicky.
And you see here one of the rollout users. This is a Pokemon that is somewhat of a counter to that Shadow Beedrill. 2 shields are in place still for Hikhami. Now it's only 1. Protect shields will reduce the damage to only 1 damage here. And going to expend all of his energy here, CoIin6ix. What we've seen yesterday a lot in this meta is that these normal type Pokemon are meant to take all the damage. So we likely see CoIin6ix switching out now into his own Lickilicky just to soak some of this Body Slam or Earthquake damage.
Yeah, very interesting play by CoIin6ix, doing a lot of damage with the Xyz, and Hikhami here going for the Earthquake. CoIin6ix's Lickilicky is very healthy yet.
Earthquake does cost a lot more energy, but it will deal more damage than Body Slam here. And we see CoIin6ix just farming up more energy here. Oh. This is a Charge Stack 30 tie. That means that both Pokemon threw their Charge Stack at the same time, but the Pokemon with the higher attack stat actually wins that. So we see Hikhami going first here.
No, he waited a turn. He waited a turn. CoIin6ix is known to do this because he doesn't want Hikhami to catch, but it didn't work for him. He didn't get the rollout.
Body Slam is coming through now. Will this knock out Lickilicky? Yes, it does. And CoIin6ix has energy to spare, but look on Hikhami's side. He still has a Protect Shield advantage. And I think this is going to be the strategy that we're going to see moving forward from Hikhami, is to use a lot of the Spiritomb. Do you no-shield this Earthquake? This will do a lot of damage. Yes, we see the Protect Shield coming up from Hikhami.
This is a huge shield by Hikhami, and this Spiritomb is ramping up energy, but CoIin6ix doesn't let him and tries to Dunsparce.
Keep in mind that Shadow Beedrill also still has some health left. This Spiritomb, oh, we see the catch attempt there from Hikhami. He stored a Charge Stack, a very important detail, and CoIin6ix is counting the fast attacks perfectly. He knows that it takes 3 Dragon Tail from Milotic to get to the Aqua Tail. This Drill will actually barely knock out, as Milotic is quite bulky, but this attack is very good Rock Tomb.
Yeah, but Dunsparce can take this easily, and the timer is almost coming up, so watch out for the timer for CoIin6ix. Can he get out of here? No, he needs to throw a Charge Stack to delay the timer.
Rock Tomb drops the attack of Dunsparce. The thing is, in Pokemon GO, you can actually clear a debuff by switching out. So I would not be surprised if at some point CoIin6ix swaps into the Beedrill, so because the Spiritomb doesn't have that much energy. But no, now that Spiritomb has more energy, because the timer wasn't up yet, he's staying in.
This is huge. This might take out the Spiritomb. It's going to be very close, but how do you take down this Dunsparce? It's so low on HP.
It will be very close. CoIin6ix comes in with the Shadow Beedrill. Hikhami predicts it. Lightning speed reflexes, but Spiritomb is at such low health.
What a prediction by Hikhami, but I don't know if he can win this game. There's 1 HP in that Spiritomb. There's 2 Pokemon left, and Dunsparce goes for the rollout and takes game 1.
Rolling through this Spiritomb. CoIin6ix takes game number 1 in this winners finals. A tremendous start for the Dutchman here. CoIin6ix is already we know him as a very successful player in the European Regional Series. We call him the final boss. He kind of got that name in the 2024 season because he was a trainer who just kept winning everywhere. CoIin6ix was the trainer you have to defeat if you want to win a regional championship. But the thing is, Marto, he hasn't won a championship for an entire season. And in fact, this is his first trophy ever and on the big stage.
Yeah, and sometimes it starts to get in your head, right? After you win a lot and you took a lot of time to win again, you start to think like, oh, am I still good at this game? But CoIin6ix showing that he's one of the best here, winning a trophy and starting very confidently in this series, right? He looks so calm, icing his veins.
Keep in mind that trainers have a whole day, or well, rather a whole evening or overnight to prepare for this matchup, as both trainers have fought their way through day 1 and day 2. So they probably had a little bit of an idea which Pokemon would come out here. In Pokemon GO, we have an open team sheet. So that means you bring 6 Pokemon to the tournament. You exchange team sheets with your opponent. So you know which other 6 Pokemon your opponent has. And from those 6, you pick your 3. Which 3 Pokemon do you think is the best against the 6 or the 3 that you expect your opponent to bring to the table?
Yeah, and these players definitely bring the strategies to the Championship Sunday. We saw Calling with Beedrill and double rollout, right? Those 2 bodyguards for Beedrill. We will see if Hikhami adapts to that. Some players like to use their rollout users in the lead, because they expect that Beedrill in the lead, right? And Hikhami didn't expect it here, so he might adapt here, but this is when the mind games start coming, right? And you need to start predicting what your opponent's gonna do.
And pacing is just so important in this meta. You know, Licky in the video game series doesn't really have that much pacing. It doesn't really look like a Pokemon is going to run at you per se. But in Pokemon GO, it's about charging energy. And Rollout is a fast attack that charges really quick. It has Body Slam, which doesn't take a lot of energy to get to. We're gonna find out in game number 2. Is your prediction right? We're going to see a Spiritomb mirror 2 of these spooky ghosts facing off against each other.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very important which Pokemon they powered up here, because if they have a higher attack, they're gonna win the charge attack priority type, and that makes this matchup much better.
That's what I talked about earlier when it actually didn't happen. This time it did happen. Spiritomb from Hikhami, it looks like has a higher attack set. And I know from CoIin6ix that he also has a Spiritomb with a pretty decent attack. So that means that Hikhami may have brought or prepared a Spiritomb for especially this tournament just to win this particular moment, getting to throw the charge attack first against other Spiritomb.
Yeah, that tie is huge here, but look at the HP of the Spiritomb. They're both getting very low here, so even if Hikhami wins here, oh, actually going for a switch.
We see a catch here. Hikhami, keep in mind, now has a charge attack preserved. You keep the energy from a Pokemon that you have swapped out. And this is what I said before. Licky is just there to soak energy. But the thing is, Rock Tomb always debuffs the attack of the opponent. So the Licky from Hikhami will now deal less damage than normally.
Yeah, that was a great catch, but is this a mistake by Hikhami? The attack is lower, and this is not going to even do like 50% of Licky's HP.
That did more like 30% even. And now you're going to see an Earthquake that has not been debuffed. This is going to deal the full brunt of the shiny Licky from Hikhami. But can you get a rollout down? Rollout, yes, charges energy quick, but there's a combination in fast attacks.
Oh.
You deal damage and you charge energy. Rollout does not deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, Hikhami, he wanted to get out of there, but the switch timer was not up, and CoIin6ix predicting this and throwing the Body Slam, getting rid of the Licky, and there's only Milotic left.
Milotic is coming in, but Licky charges up energy just as quick as Milotic does, even a little bit quicker. Body Slam is coming through before Milotic is able to get to an Aqua Tail. I don't think Aqua Tail is even going to knock out yet.
This Licky is so healthy, I don't think an Aqua Tail even takes it out, and it's being a nuisance right now.
And we see here CoIin6ix did not go for the Body Slam there. He knows that Milotic has a higher attack, so he's hoping to take this charge attack. Licky actually hangs on about 1 HP. He stores the charge attack, goes into Spiritomb, was hoping that Hikhami would throw immediately again. You get Sucker Punch damage in, but look at this. Milotic now has 2 Aqua Tails stored. How is CoIin6ix going to get through this? Because both rollout users don't deal a lot of damage with fast attacks. You have to throw a charge to get rid of this Milotic.
Yeah, this Milotic is loaded and actually going for the Dunsparce here, going for the Wrap to start, you know, debuffing this Dunsparce, and that might be a mistake by Colin, giving so much farm to this Milotic.
Normally, you want to go for the charge attack with the same type attack. When we see Spiritomb coming in, and it had all that energy still,
wow.
CoIn6ix is going to face so much debuffing here because the defense has been lowered through Wrap earlier from Milotic. Now Rock Tomb is coming through. The rollouts will deal even more damage. Can you get the rollout down before the next Rock Tomb even?
Can he get to the Rock Tomb? Oh, CoIn6ix doesn't want to play those games. He throws the Drill Run.
Keep in mind that there's also a Body Slam loaded still on the side of CoIn6ix. Now that the attack has been lowered, this Dunsparce will deal even less damage, but Milotic is already so low. There's still a Protect Shield though. Jeron is coming through, and keep in mind that the defense from this Dunsparce has been lowered, and Aqua Tail might get really close to knocking out here.
I think Colin needs a catch here. Will Hikhami wait to see
he has a Body Slam stored?
Oh no, instantly throws.
But I think Hikhami predicted Licky to swap in here. Then Milotic would get rid of the Licky before he can fire a charge attack. And let's see which prediction Hikhami is going to make. He's playing very careful. In comes Licky, and it gets the body slam off before Milotic can launch a charge attack. CoIin6ix is just sweeping through this winners finals. He is 2-0 up. He needs one more game to move on to the grand finals.
What a masterful play by CoIin6ix. He waits a turn to confuse his opponent with the animations, and Hikhami just got lost here. He kept throwing fast attacks, thinking that maybe CoIin6ix was gonna go for another play there.
Yeah, Hikhami was just being very careful there. You saw him waiting at the very end of that match because he was trying to make sure that if that Licky would come in, he can throw the Alcatel first. That was the win condition of Hikhami. So very smartly played, but CoIin6ix kind of knew that, and he was just trying to throw Hikhami off, was looking very closely at what that Milotic was going to do.
CoIin6ix is just too good. That energy management is what you need to become the European International Championship. Saving the body slam there was so clutch. And not only you use it in the end game, right? You start to threaten your opponent like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna switch, am I gonna wait, I'm gonna throw a charge attack? You choose.
Let's talk about Hikhami for a little bit, because Hikhami is not exactly a newcomer to the scene. He's already played, this is his 26th tournament in total that he's competed in. But previously he pretty much only got to like the losers finals of his groups, which is a good achievement in overall, but it's not exactly where he is at now. And only since this season he has won his first regional championship. In fact, that was his first day 2 ever, and he immediately took down Liu entirely in 2026. Now he is here in the top 3. He took down top trainers that have won many championships. Think of Paulasha, Steinar, Galax Cabolton. He defeated the world champion Beelzeboy as well. So Hikhami is not to be counted out yet. We're heading into game number 3. Can Hikhami make the comeback? We see Kingdra here from CoIn6ix. Not exactly expected, because Milotic that deals super effective damage with Dragon Tail is really good into that, and it's so safe.
Yeah, and Hikhami actually going for the first charge attack here, threatening with the Earthquake. CoIn6ix needs to make a decision. No, calls the body slam.
Lets it go. He knows he can hang on to at least one Earthquake here. So Colin is now going for the Outrage. Licky is not a Pokemon that trainers generally use Protect Shields on, but you know this is going to hit very hard. And we see Hikhami make the correct shield go here, preserving a lot of HP. This would have put Licky very low to getting knocked out.
Yeah, great decision by Hikhami here, but actually CoIn6ix doesn't know what to take more damage with the Kingdra and going for the Dunsparce.
And this is kind of what CoIn6ix wants as well. He throws in Dunsparce because he wants to soak energy here, preserve Kingdra. I think Hikhami might not mind though, because he has Milotic in the back, which does really well into Kingdra. And Hikhami is even staying in, might just go for another Earthquake here on charge security tie. And the thing is, the attack of these two Pokemon gets really close. But generally in Pokemon GO, we say that shiny Pokemon have a little bit of higher attack because you just use a Pokemon that you haven't optimized exactly, but it just looks cooler.
Yeah, Hikhami definitely had some intel there, but how are we going to tank the energy of these Dunsparce? This Licky is getting very low. Do you stay here and go for the body slam? I think Hikhami is going for it.
Hikhami is getting everything out of this Licky. CoIn6ix does not mind. He is down 1.5 Pokemon here as Kingdra has energy loaded, but it also in the yellow in comes Spiritomb. Keep in mind that CoIn6ix has a shield advantage here. This is actually a very tricky situation for Hikhami because I think he's trying to preserve Milotic for Kingdra. So he has to come in with his own Spiritomb here.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is what you do because CoIn6ix has 2 shields, but look at the Sucker Punch damage. The Spiritomb has lost half of his HP.
Sucker Punch is one of the strongest fast attacks here. We see Shadow Ball, not Rock Tomb coming in. This is the same type of attack bonus, has been buffed this season. Will do a lot of damage, and Hikhami calls it. He shields the attack. This would have knocked out Spiritomb. Excellent play from Hikhami.
It's a great shield, but this is a mistake by CoIn6ix. You want to debuff the attack of the Sucker Punch and Rock Tomb coming in. You have to use a shield.
You have to use a protection here as CoIn6ix, and it was no coincidence that Hikhami threw his charge attack 1 before that. Oh my goodness, this is going to deal a lot of damage. It is debuffed, but Shadow Ball is known for hitting extremely hard.
He predicted the switch, but the Dragon Tail comes in, and what do you do now? Do you swap the Kingdra? Yes.
But it has so much energy. Can Kingdra get to an Outreach? Yes, you get to the Aqua Tail, but keep in mind the typings here. Kingdra double resist, water, and CoIn6ix doesn't even shield.
What are you going to shield in the rest of the game? This Kingdra has a tall task to do, going for the Outrage, and this is going to take out the Milotic, but there's still Spiritomb in the back.
Outrage hits extremely hard. Spiritomb doesn't really have a lot of health, but neither does Kingdra. Can you get a Sucker Punch down on both Pokemon? Spiritomb doesn't have a lot of health. Let's see. It does more damage. Who has more HP here?
I think he got the Rock Tomb. Goes for the Rock Tomb. He's coming back from these games.
He's trying to reduce the damage taken from the opposing Spiritomb Sucker Punch. Here's the thing though, with that Sucker Punch went through from CoIn6ix. Who gets the Sucker Punch down? They're getting close, and it's looking like CoIn6
survives with 1 HP.
That is a full 3
KO sweep, 1 HP, and a dream for CoIin6ix as he gives us the fist bump.